Hi, welcome to the Arsenal Fans Focus, where your opinions and your passions take centre stage. We're going to dive right in, and it's been a little while since we've got together, but I'm glad we're here now. We're going to be talking about so far how things are, how things have gone with the team. In fact, we're just going to talk about the Newcastle game. We'll take it from there, from the Newcastle game, and how we see things, and just moving a little bit forward to find out. I mean, there's a lot of speculations, there's a lot of rumours and things like that. I just want to talk about how you guys see things at the moment, how you assess things. We haven't spoke about did we speak about the PSG game?
No.
Well, I just want to be honest with you. On a quick note, what did you guys think of that?
I think we killed ourselves in the home tie. I think over both legs, I think the first 20 minutes was the difference in both games, where PSG came to us. We couldn't get close to the ball for the first 20 minutes, I thought, and obviously they scored that goal at home. And then the second leg, the first 20 minutes, we should have been 3-4 up. So yeah, I think that was the main talking point for me, was just huge disappointment, obviously, because I felt like we could have been in control by half time in PSG.
The first 25
we lost, but yeah.
The first 25 minutes, or I'd go even half an hour. I mean, literally, we was all over them. I mean, we had chances.
I honestly can't believe, like, based on the league performances, I think I said about Palace, like, I had a bad feeling. Like, we looked nervous and we looked like it wasn't like the type of performance I want to go into a semi-final of a Champions League game. I think it showed in the first leg. We looked nervous. Even in the tunnel, I felt like we looked nervous. PSG just looked focused on it.
I honestly didn't think we looked nervous at all in the first half. Well, I mean, in Paris, I didn't think we.
No, I was talking about the home leg. Sorry.
Oh right, okay, fine.
Yeah, sorry. And total opposite in the second leg. But
I think they surprised us a little bit. I think we knew they were a good side. I think they're the best side I've seen in the Emirates since Barca in 2011. The speed of their play, I just think we got caught on the hop a little bit. I'm not sure it was nerves. I just think like it was like a level up from what we'd seen at the Emirates, and it took us a long time to get used to it. And once we kind of got a foothold in the game, you just like, when we thought we'd equalise, I thought, we can go on and win this home leg, and that would have been huge. And then once that goal was chalked off, it felt like the kind of stuffing was taken out of us a bit. And the second leg, I don't know, I thought we had about like a 10% chance of winning it, and I thought we started really well. And on another day you score and you get them nervous. It just didn't quite happen. I mean, again, I think they knew they were in a game over two legs with us. I know they beat us more comfortably on paper than they did Liverpool and Villa, but I think they knew that they were in trouble at points against us. And I think they knew they were we had some big chances over the two legs to get in, at least kind of get involved in the tie. And I think once the dust settles at the end of the season, we'll look back on the Champions League campaign as probably been a little bit ahead of where we thought we'd be. And it's given me kind of quite a lot of hope if we get the right signings in next year. I don't think there's anything to fear in Europe at the moment. There's some decent sides, but I think, if we could add 2 or 3 players, I think we've got a great chance of going that far, if not further, next year on the basis of what I've seen this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think with sorry, Pat, but I think with the top 4, as in Barca, Inter, us, and PSG, it probably worked out the way it was supposed to. Obviously, we were playing each other. I know that, but we were the 4 best teams, I think. And I think the Inter and Barca, I think we probably, with Inter and Barca, Barca, it would have been a more open game. But with Inter, obviously, we felt this season when we went over there, it was really hard to play against them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, looking back now, at the time, I was really, really frustrated after the second leg with PSG. But looking back now, we did perform well. And on another day, we could have won that quite easily. The keeper, Donnarumma, he was the man both legs. Do you know what I mean?
I'll tell you what, that Donnarumma, I mean, like
that Odegaard shot.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say that.
Honestly, that Odegaard shot we're talking about, I mean, when you look at Odegaard's face when he took that shot, the venom that he put behind that shot, and to see, what's his name? I can't even pronounce his name, the goalkeeper's name again.
Donnarumma,
yeah. Donnarumma. I mean, what a save. Honestly, I mean, you've
I
got.
thought, I thought he was out injured, and I was like, oh yeah, thank God he didn't score, but at least he's taken him out. But then, yeah,
I reckon
came back.
any other goalkeeper on that day, Arsenal would have gone through.
Yeah,
That's how. Barring Liverpool's goalkeeper,
don't get me wrong. I think the second leg, obviously Saka scored, and before he missed that chance, I'm not saying it based on the chance, but I felt like he wasn't in the game at all. I felt Lewis Skelly kept getting caught out from memory in the second.
Yeah, he didn't play really well.
He still did.
It wasn't his strongest game. Yeah,
it wasn't.
But no. Obviously, he's 18 years old, and it's his breakthrough season. I'm not slagging him off like that, but
no, of course.
Sorry, I was just thinking of remember.
Yeah, it was just over the two legs. It was a few individual errors. You know, I said like. I think I said to Jay actually, like, you know, kind of party. We all the big hope was party, and he had a header out for the first goal, wasn't great, and then you know he was at fault for the second, and it was weird. It was like I think he's been brilliant this season, but it was just small. It was you know, as you said, the keeper kept them in it, and it was a couple of small things that kind of went against us. And another day we could have. I mean, I'm not one for this XG stuff, but you know, like I think we were the closest to PSG by an absolute mile for the English clubs on actual performance, not goals, but like if you look at the performance, they were pretty even games over two legs.
I know people love that XG stuff, man. I mean, and I get it. I know a lot of people love stats and all this kind of things. I'll just say it as it is, and I'll see what I see, and you know. But I do agree. But
the first leg killed us because I feel like if we played like that at home, we would have been 3-0 up. Do you know what I mean? I just get Well, we've got the runner in goal. That might be a load of bollocks, but
yeah, exactly. But all right, but quickly moving on. All right, who are you going for in the finals?
I think it's tough. I think it's really tough because it's just so the two different styles. I mean, Inter kind of ripped up their style a little bit against Barcelona. I didn't expect it to be a basketball match. I thought like one or two goals would win over the two legs. It was completely different, and it was an unbelievable spectacle. But I mean, I think the thing about Inter is they can mix up either way. You know, if they want to go and be dogged and get a 1-0, they can. But they've also shown that they can go toe to toe with you.
Yeah, definitely.
I've got a sneaky feeling about Inter. I said it for about 3 rounds. I think I said it on here in about February. I just think they're organised. PSG, for me, are the best team in Europe at the moment, footballing wise. But I just got a feeling Inter will get over the line somehow. Like they got over Barca. I've got a feeling they're going to do it again.
Yeah, I watched. I think Inter, but then I watched them on Saturday or Sunday whenever they were playing, and I think Napoli were playing at the same time. So I was just flicking through the channels, and I don't know something. They had Arnautovic up front, and I just felt like I think Martinez might be injured potentially. So that was slightly worrying.
But did they win? Did they win?
No, they drew. So it's in Napoli's hands now on the last game. But Napoli were away playing whoever, Calgary or someone.
Oh wow!
You wonder if the Champions League has got in the way a little bit of their league form as well. And like, are they not risking Martinez because of the final? It's a tricky one to know. That's the only thing about kind of going for the title and the Champions League at the same time.
But yeah, I think Inter would. I think Inter would. I hope Inter.
So what do you reckon the scores? That's what I'm going 2-0 Inter.
Wow, strong. I think 2-1. I think I can even see it going to extra time. I can see 1-1 in normal time, and then I can see Inter nicking it in extra time. If Inter scores first, I can't see them conceding. Well, I thought that against Barca, Pat, if I'm honest, when in the San Siro, when they went 2-0 up, I thought this game's dead and buried. I thought Barca were dead, and then they had obviously a 15-minute spell where they just fell apart, which is just something I've seen from Inter this season. And Barca, to be honest, could have easily wrapped that up. I think they had a couple of big chances at 3-2, and on the break, and they didn't quite capitalise. And I didn't see it coming, but yeah, I think if they have to go and be dogged against PSG with a 1-0 lead, it could turn into a bit of a bore fest. But yeah,
it can be. But you got to remember as well,
goal again. He gets him out of so many jams. Donnarumma, you can throw the kitchen sink at him, and he's not conceding. So and they have got some brilliant attackers, PSG. So.
Okay, cool. Moving on from that, let's talk about Newcastle. I was one who was nervous, to be honest with you.
Very good seats, mate.
What?
I said you had very good seats. Was that your? I said you had very good seats. Were you at the game?
Oh right, yeah. I did go to the game. Adam, what it was because Adam gave me was offering me some tickets, but couldn't go because
Was that your seats, Adam?
No. I think
no.
Paddy got him. No, it wasn't mine. No.
Oh, okay.
No. So I couldn't. Yeah, I couldn't.
Patted Arteta on the head.
What?
I said you could have patted Arteta on the head.
Yeah, I could have. I tell you what. I mean, honestly, what it is, because I do. It's funny because I do TikTok live. I was going to say to Adam, I do TikTok live as well, and the banter that we have on TikTok because of Arsenal. I tell you what, honestly, I know people hated Arsenal, but my God, honestly, the other people, the fan, I don't know what it is. Why do they hate Arsenal so much? Why do they hate Arsenal so? Oh my gosh, the banter that we have. And the thing what gets me sometimes is like you get some Arsenal supporters on there. I like to have a banter because I like to wind them up. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what it's all about for me, winding them up and getting more people on the show. And anyway, and it was like, yeah, there was this saying whatever they wanted to say about Arsenal and the bottlers. Do you know what I mean? You're this, you're that. Tottenham's bigger. North London is white, and whatever. And I'm sucking it in, and I'm giving it back also. But then there was don't want to say it on there because it's recorded as well. But someone came on because there's a friend of mine I know. We've known each other for years since we were kids, and he's been an Arsenal scout, and I knew he was an Arsenal scout for years. And it was him who brought in what's his name? Who's gone to Fulham? Smith Rowe.
Rowley
Sorry, who?
Is it Steve Rowley?
No, I'm not saying no name, but all right. He's he brought in Smith Rowe. He found Smith Rowe. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, so this guy came on and he's saying, "Yeah, Arsenal." I said, "Hey, how you doing, Arsenal?" And whatever. And we was carrying on because I'm just reading what people are saying about Arsenal. Then he just said, "Yeah, I know someone that you know at the Arsenal." So I was thinking, all right, this might be a little bit dodgy. And he went, he said, I'm a scout. And I thought, the guy said, I'm an Arsenal scout. And I thought, yeah, all right, whatever. You just want to come in live to say whatever you want to say so you can be rude or whatever. Anyway, comes to I said to him, look, I'll tell you what, why don't you come down to the Arsenal? All right. If I see you, come and say hi, I'll interview you, tell me who you are, blah, blah, blah. I was just there and I was doing the interview and everything. And someone just tapped me on the shoulders and he went, all right. I said, yeah. How are you? Do you want to have an interview or something? Blah blah blah. He said, no. I told you I was the scout. I'm the Arsenal scout. And I thought, you are the Arsenal scout, so prove it. Then he opened up his head and he had the Arsenal thing right on him. So he was, and I thought, wow, okay, fine, blah blah blah. And I said to him, okay, well, we'll catch up later on the next time you come to my live. And then he said, what, are you going to the game? I said, no, I'm not really going to the game. I was offered a ticket by a friend of mine, but I just couldn't afford it at the time and couldn't get someone else. And he said, all right, look, I'll come back and see you in a minute. So I just carried on interviewing, and he pops back, and he said, here you go. So I thought, what's that? He just looked at us and he opened, he went, oh, wait, you're having a laugh. You're joking. He said, no, go on. He said, I'll see you in there. So I swear to you, I didn't even know. He said, yeah, it's number A. Just go up there and just go in there, and then you know what I mean. I'll find you. And I thought it was going to be like I was going to be in row Z. Do you know what I mean? Right up in the heavens. Mm. And when I went in there, the guy said to me, "Oh, no, go ahead, mate. You're there." I said, "What, down there?" And I went down. And I said, "Okay, fine." And I was thinking, "All right, I won't be going that far near the players." And I was going down, and I was going down and down, and I was 3 benches behind Mikel Arteta. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is a joke. I thought it was having a laugh. And honestly, it was absolutely amazing. I couldn't literally go, hey, Arteta, how you doing, mate? How you doing? Do you know, just put my hands there. And it was absolutely amazing seats. It was a really amazing time. And it was, yeah, and then he came over. And it was because I think it's a lot of the families and stuff. They're all sitting there as well, sitting next to me. Sitting next to me. Guess who's here? He was sitting right next to me. What's his name? Raheem Sterling's wife.
Oh God,
mate, she was.
Did you tell her?
Listen, the only reason why I knew it was Raheem Sterling's wife, because at half time Arsenal introduced the under nines who's signing for who Arsenal's taking on, and they're all going up there and everything, and on the pitch. I must have shown it, and they're all going on the pitch so everyone can see Arsenal's new signings under nines and everything else. And they started to call out their names, and then they call out Sterling, and then Sterling, and then the scout guy went, Sterling's son, all right, and I went, really? Oh, okay, you're sitting next to his wife.
No way.
Yeah.
And anyway, so honestly, so I saw him when he come along, and then see the little one and the mother, and just sitting right next to Sterling's mum. Do you know what I mean? Oh, crazy! It was mad. But that's my story anyway. But
you're big time.
Yeah, so,
you said.
Yeah.
Well, listen, guys, listen, I'm in with the players now. You know what I mean? But I could have stayed around. I didn't really, because I just wanted to get some stuff done and go. Because I could have he was going to invite me afterwards, but I just wanted to ship out. But anyway, sorry guys, but that's what I wanted. That's what it was.
Thanks for the ticket. All the best, bye.
I know it felt like that. But he's coming. But one of the things that I'm going to be doing as well, because he wants me to talk about, because we were talking about the scouts, because he's been at Arsenal for now over 14 years, and. Before he even started, because he's now employed by them. But I never knew. This is something I want to talk about as well, because he was saying talk about it. He'll do something with me with it as well. I never knew scouts did not get paid.
No,
I wasn't aware of that. No.
Only scouts if you're employed. That's the difference. But look how many thousands of scouts are out there.
Yeah, but I think Arsenal, from memory, I mean, my sister used to work for the club for a while, and I think they have an Africans, one that covers Africa, one that covers South America, one that covers Europe. And I think from memory, they have something like 8 or 9 scouts, and they cover a region each. And I thought they were all on the payroll, personally.
Well, it's going to be interesting, because I'm going to be talking to some scouts, and I've got inside information. Unless you're employed, you are employed by the club, and there are thousands upon thousands of scouts. You got to remember, the club only employs a certain amount of people.
But you saying then that people are just scouting off their own back and giving the information to Arsenal off their own? What
I'm going to do, I'm going to invite. I'm not going to say no more. It's a teaser. I'm bringing on 2 scouts who are proper scouts, and they are.
I'm 38.
If you're not a scout and you're turning up to a kids' game, then you need to ring the police.
What?
I said, if you're not employed as a scout and you're watching kids play football,
well,
you need to,
again, what we're going to do is going to be interesting, and then it's going to be interesting what they're going to talk about.
So, do you reckon it's too late for us, Jay? Do you reckon mid-30s, one more season than us? Do you reckon?
That's my time up at the park. I've been
as I'm hanging about with the professionals now, I should know. So send me some videos, guys, of what
you're telling me.
All right, I need to know. I need to know what.
I'll take a mean penalty.
Is that it?
Yeah.
I'm looking for a ball boy.
So yeah, if 5 minutes go extra time, I'll come on for the penalty shootout if we get that.
But anyway, let's move. I know we diverted, but let's move back. Let's move back to the Newcastle game. What did you guys think of it? Because I honestly thought that as our bogey team, as we haven't beaten them for a little while, it was going to be a real hard struggle.
I think it started like that. I think first half hour, like, we were under the cosh, and it looked like they had a lot more to play for than us, and which is probably true. I know second we wanted, but Newcastle's Champions League hopes obviously rested on. Well, they still rest on Sunday, but they could have pretty much secured it with a win at the Emirates. But it felt like that. But I actually, overall, losing Saliba half time and having kind of Calafiori and Kivior at centre back and keeping them out, I think it was actually a pretty decent performance overall in the end. It's not going to live long in the memory as a game, but I mean, that's the kind of game that last season when we weren't at our absolute best, we were winning 1-0, and that's the kind of game we haven't done that this year. Yeah, we've had games where it's been tight and edgy, and we've ended up drawing 1-1 a lot of the time. And that was kind of, in some ways, it was quite nice to win a game 1-0 that you think, okay, we weren't brilliant today, but we've beaten a good side. And that's the kind of mentality we need to bring back next year when we're not at our best, just kind of get over the line. And I thought I was quite pleased on that front. It was nice to secure second last home game, and overall I thought it was all right. I mean, it wasn't a great start. We were sloppy in the first kind of 30 minutes, but yeah, again, there was a lot of positives to take with considering the injuries and a little bit of rotation as well.
Talk about being sloppy. What did you think about Rega's pass?
I think he just does it so he pulls off a worldly save. He just gets the cameras on him again. Because
he has those moments, but he
does, doesn't he?
Himself. He does have moments, but I think I always have this debate with my dad because he obviously he has kittens every time Raya passes it at 5 yards out, and I said, look, this is the way that Arsenal play now. It's not going to change. We have to get on board with it. And sometimes at the Emirates, I think we add to the anxiety because the ball goes out and you hear that kind of gasp of breath going, and then and I think sometimes we play it better away because it's there's a bit more confidence of the players to kind of play out in those.
But but you say that though. I mean, it was weird when he passed that ball out because I tell you now, Arteta. I mean, I've got it. I figured it. Okay, I recorded it. He was angry at him. He was angry at him, and what he does as well, Arteta, because you know more than I do, Adam, because you're always mostly there, and you see how close you are with him. He always turns around to his assistants, and he grabs them, and he go and have a word with him, and you can see Raya looking over like.
But that's probably because he had to play it sideways to the defender rather than trying to find that inside pass.
Well,
he wasn't pleased. Put it that way.
I don't get the feeling. But I don't get the feeling it's like don't play the ball. I think he's just a perfectionist. That like if you don't play it well, he's like, come on, we've trained this a week. And I don't think he wants to change. And I think if he wanted to change the process of how it was going, he would, and he would go longer.
Yeah, I get that.
I think it's more like a. How have you played such a bad ball in that situation? Like the ball was on, and I think you should always have 2 or 3 options from that kind of kick out. The way that if the movement's good enough, but we're not alone. I said I watched West Ham's Forest's first goal of the weekend. It was atrocious, and I think the problem is like I don't think Gary Neville's been very vocal about it. Like everyone's trying to do this play and out stuff, and 9 times out of 10 it does get you breaking away, but it's so dangerous when it goes wrong. And I think the problem is. We do it pretty well. City do it well. Liverpool do it well. It's when the average teams in the Premier League are trying to do. I mean, Ipswich and Leicester have tried it a few times this year, and they just haven't broken it. Southampton are the worst in the league. They try and pray out from the back, and the amount of goals they concede from doing this kind of stuff is just crazy. Like I think that's the only my issue with kind of how football's gone is that everyone is trying to play the Pep way, and it has become a little bit ridiculous at times.
Yeah, sorry. I was just reading something about. From 4-4-2, Tottenham's trying to hijack Arsenal's target with their new wealth. You're gonna get all this. You're gonna get all this rubbish. Do you know what I mean?
It's been a long summer. Let's say. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, apparently they're going after Sesko now. So with this newborn wealth, it was like Manchester United. If Manchester United didn't have win it, they would have hijacked. They would have got Bucharest. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
Mate, I mean, I definitely want to talk about the transfer rumors and stuff, mate, because I mean, like, I want let's finish off the Newcastle if we have. Are you anything else on the Newcastle? How did you feel? I think Newcastle. What is it about Newcastle? I feel I'm always thinking to myself, what is it about Newcastle that Arsenal find very difficult to break down? I know on one thing, Newcastle players they do bully Arsenal. That's one thing I do know.
Having seen Newcastle Arsenal, it was the first game I didn't go. I went up to the Carabao. I went to both legs of the Carabao. I think Eddie Howe's worked us out a little bit, and without giving too much away, I think if you watch Newcastle, they play a very narrow back 4 against us, and they kind of cut the supply. You look, a lot of our football goes through the middle. Even Martinelli and Saka, they like to cut in, and against us, they normally play. Dan Burn, Trippier kind of goes inside a little bit more. Dan Burn, Cher, like they play a very tight back 4. And at times they play Dan Burn at left back against us, almost like a centre back. And they play that really kind of compact 4. Then Bruno kind of sits in front of them. Joe Linton, I know he didn't play the weekend, but Joe Linton sits there. And they've kind of worked out that like if you stifle us, and a lot of the time when we'd lost against Newcastle this year, we had a lot of the ball and we got caught on the counter attack. Especially in both legs of the Carabao Cup, we had a lot more of the ball than them. But they kind of worked out that. we don't really have a way of getting around the back of teams. Like if we don't go to the middle, and once we lost the ball against them, they just hit us on the counter. And I think they have a very, as you said, they have a big physical side that kind of goes toe to toe with us, and they kind of just they kind of bide their time and wait for us to hit us. Whereas, as I said it before on here, the teams that we wallop are the ones that go right. We're going to go straight at you. We're going to attack you, and we hit them on the counter attack. But they kind of sit deep and they kind of soak it up against us. And they've done it very well, and it kind of worked for the first 20 minutes the other day as well. But then the longer it went on, the more I think we kind of turned the tables on them a little bit and hit them on the counter attack.
Right.
I think they match us in midfield.
Yeah,
which is a big one, and they're just strong and physical, which is one of our strengths as well. And I think initially I was.
But do they match us in the midfield though? Do they? Because I think we're more. I think we've got more strength in the mid with
Bruno, Tonali, and Joel Linton.
Yeah, it's a big midfield. Yeah.
Can't really mess with them.
Bruno, especially, he's the most foul player in the league, and he just dominates kind of physicality in there.
Is it Johnson?
Joel Linton.
Joe Linton. That's it. Joe Linton. I remember the last time. I mean, not the last game just gone, but the game before that. I mean, the way he bullied some of our players. I mean, it makes me think to myself. This artist always say to these guys, "Look, this is gonna. You need strength. You need to show them that you're not going to be bullied by them."
A lot of their goals against us this year as well have come from wide areas. You look at Gordon and the goal in the league where there was a big cross swung in for Isak's head. But they stay very wide against us because we go so narrow. And I think and Gordon always looks really dangerous against us because you can see why he played Harvey Barnes the other day as well, like tricky little wingers. And
don't get me wrong, I think we got away with it with obviously Isak not playing because. I didn't feel like we'd lose at all on that day because I just felt after the PSG games and what we gave in the PSG game, I just felt like we would turn up and give us a bit of a send off. The players would, but when I saw that obviously Isak wasn't playing, I was like, oh, that's another tick in the box. To be fair, but, the first half could have gone a very different way, but. Yeah, I was really pleased that we beat him, to be fair, because I felt like we needed that going into next season. And I felt, again, we turned up like against Liverpool. We were in the first half, we weren't great. Second half, we just switched on. So we must be saying something right at half time to get us going again.
Like you said about Spurs a minute ago, though, Pat, with the extra wealth, it does give us a slight chance of Newcastle missing the Champions League as well. Now, I do think they'll beat Everton on Sunday, and I think they'll get there. But if Newcastle do miss out on the Champions League, then it's a different conversation with Isak. I think we've got no chance if they make the Champions League, and I think we've got a smaller chance if he does make it. If they miss out, sorry.
Sorry, who's I just wanted to find out. Hang on a minute. Who's at home?
Newcastle at home.
Newcastle's at home.
Yeah,
Newcastle's at home.
I think they're weird side. They're another side that can go and be, as we've shown, drew 0-0 at home with them. They can be really dogged if they want to be.
I think Forest will draw at Chelsea, and I think Villa will beat United. So I think it'll be Newcastle.
I tell you what, Everton's not pushover anymore.
They're not.
They're not pushover, and I think Everton's still got something to prove as well. I mean, obviously they need to. Where are they in it? Where do you know?
I think it's more the fact they're going to the new stadium. I think they want to finish the season well because I think they want to try and obviously attract a new level of player going to Everton. There's going to be a lot of teams on the beach on Sunday. I don't think Everton are going to be one of them. I think they want to finish the season strongly, and I think that's not a game Newcastle would pick to try and win on the last day if he had to pick one.
Yeah, because
it's got a lot harder to beat, Annie Moyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you've got City on 68 points. You've got Newcastle on 66 points. You've got Chelsea on 66 points. You've got Villa on 66 points, and you've got Forest on 56. Sorry, 65. 60. Yeah. And I'm really hoping Forest. What do you reckon, Forest and Villa? I can see. What do you reckon? I'm hoping Forest beat Chelsea.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
You're smiling now, and you don't want them to beat them.
No, I do. No, I'd love Chelsea to miss out. No, I'd love Forest to get there. I think again. Partly because Chelsea miss out, but equally, I think Forest, it kind of gives you that kind of hope in English football again, that it's not going to be the same top six all the time. Like Leicester, it's not the same level as Leicester, but it's not far off. People thought Forest would go down this year, and again, like I said before, it's a completely different style that Forest play. It's not the kind of tried and test. Everyone plays the same style, and it's quite refreshing to watch. And good luck to them. I think either way,
is Edu going to be the main man next season for them, or is he part of the group? I don't know I can't remember.
Well, he's going to be Edu. Well, he's going to be. He's going to be head of the. He's going to be head of that some organisation for that. Talk about that. What's that bloke? What is his name? The owner. What did you think about him when he walked onto the field like that?
Muppet.
I don't get it. I don't. I think sometimes, like he looks like a fan that doesn't know what he's doing. He's got a bit too much money and he's thrown a lot of money at Forest. He's kind of got away with it. Like I think they threw a lot of money and wasted a lot of money. And Nuno's made a very good squad out of what was a squad that was struggling last year. But sometimes you think just leave it to the manager.
Or wait to the tunnel.
Throw your money in and support the club. But Jesus, you are not.
But that's the thing, though, isn't it?
Something different, though. I think we all thought it was because of the result, which obviously it was. But I think it was something to do with a player came off injured or something.
Yeah, like no, I don't think so. I think it's because of the. It was because of the result.
Regardless of what it was, though, you
don't do it.
Having an argument with your manager at the end of it. It's such a weird look. I just don't.
I mean, that is what you call. You do not. Show, what's the saying about your laundry? You don't.
Like kind of air your dirty laundry in public. Yeah.
And that's exactly.
And he's just got manager of the year as well. So
it's just.
It looks like even more of a prick.
I mean, it's. I mean, I get it. I mean, I get it. He wants Champions League. It's not, but he's got to remember Forest last year. I know we're not talking about Forest, but last year Forest was when they fighting relegation last year.
Yeah, big time. Yeah.
Yeah, but who are they playing? Leicester, innit? Oh, Leicester. I know. I can't obviously condone what he did, but he must have lost his head and just.
I get the frustration, but there's a way of doing it, and again, wait 2 minutes for him to come down the tunnel and berate him in there if you have to. In front of the cameras after the season they've had, I found it mental.
Absolute madness. But all right. So who are you? I want to ask you guys. I want to ask you your top 5.
I think City are there. I agree with Jay. I think Villa will win at Old Trafford. I've actually got Forest and Chelsea drawing, which will probably eke Chelsea. I don't know. It gets Chelsea in. So I have to look at the points total again. But I think City, Newcastle will win and Villa will win. I think Forest and Chelsea might actually do each other out.
Right. So give me your top 5. All right. Starting from Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool's won it. So give me
Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Villa, Newcastle.
Yeah, I agree. I think Chelsea and Forest might actually draw and cost each other Champions League, which wouldn't be the end of the world. I think Forest will still be fairly happy with the Europa and Chelsea.
Yeah, I would love Chelsea to miss out.
The only one I think Villa should win. With the situation United in, I think if United can't get out for that last home game after losing a cup final and kind of embarrassing their fans all season, I think Man United losing last night won't help Villa. I think that United need a performance because that's going to be a toxic atmosphere on Sunday. And I think Villa might be a little bit nervy going there. There's a lot of rumours about Villa's financial situation, and it really rests on the Champions League. I think Villa, I think Villa will nick it, but I think that's going to be a really edgy game, and I think Villa could easily miss out, especially if Newcastle, Forest, and City go up pretty early. I think there could be a situation where that game could get really tense.
Yeah, I mean, what I want to do, I'm just throwing this out here because everyone's got I thought it's 3 o'clock kickoff. Everyone's kicking off at 4 o'clock.
Yeah,
last game.
Yeah, I know, but it's normally 3 o'clock last.
Yeah, it's always 4 in the last day for some reason.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Okay. No, anyway, all right. I'm going to ask both of you now. All right, your predictions. All right, for the last game. Bournemouth, Leicester.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, just Bournemouth. Just.
You go for so you
always fancy the home team on the last day of the season.
There's always one weird result. I think that result could be a weird one because Leicester, the shackles have come off since they've gone down. They seem to relax.
It has, doesn't it? It does, doesn't it?
Bournemouth are a weird side. They beat us and then they go and lose games you're not expecting them to lose. So I can easily see that being a weird upset. But Bournemouth could win it. Yeah.
All right, and Fulham City.
I hope Fulham.
Yeah. I can see City will win it, but I think I can see it being like 3-2. I can see it being like a real Fulham have got again, enjoy the last day of the season. City have to go and win it. I think it'll be
Who did they just beat? Wolves away, wasn't it? Or something? Fulham?
Brentford.
Brentford. Yeah, good result.
2-1 down. I think it could be like that. I think Fulham are just going, well, we're mid-table. Let's just get the shackles come off and just play a bit of football. I think it could be quite a fun game to watch.
Yeah.
But has Fulham got anything to lose?
No, but they're going well. I do like their manager, that Marco. So
just missing out on Europe. So yeah, it's just a free hit for him, isn't it?
Are they just missing out on Europe? Yeah. All right, Ipswich, West Ham.
Draw. No.
Yeah, nothing game.
You can see a draw all over it, can't you?
Yeah, two poor sides at the moment. Yeah.
Because West Ham's
That Bowen goal the other day, though.
Yeah.
Flagger.
That Jared Bowen goal was.
Oh God, what a blinder!
Oh mate,
that was a blinder, wasn't it? Okay, so everyone, so what you going for? Ipswich or Fulham?
Or West Ham? Draw for me.
Yeah, not first. West Ham.
West Ham.
Why not?
Okay, Liverpool, Crystal Palace.
I saw a meme of this the other day. It said everyone's gonna have like the beach balls out on that pitch. Like neither are gonna care, are they? They both won a trophy. I think Liverpool will nick it just again because the trophy lift. I think they'll try and win on the last day. I think it'd be 1-0 or 2-1.
I think Salah hasn't scored. He's got to score to break a record.
Yeah, I think it could be 18 shots from him.
So since Liverpool won the league, Salah hasn't scored.
No, he's got to get one goal to some Andy Cole record or something.
I think he's got the goal and assist record, isn't he? Because he hasn't hit the 20 assists because there was talk about him breaking the assist record as well, and he hasn't had an assist for about 4 weeks. And despite the fact that he's laid a few on a plate for people, but
yeah. Okay. Bottlers versus Villa.
I think Villa win. I think Man United is so bad.
Yeah, I'll go 1-0 Villa. I think they'll just get.
I hope so.
They got something to play for, and I think Emery. I think it could be a bad time.
Can I just ask you, what do you guys think of the of Emery? Honestly, to me, he's a breath of fresh air. Putting Man United aside, I've got to be honest with you. I like the guy.
He's a breath of fresh air for us because he's saying all the things we want to hear, not they want to hear.
I know. Yeah.
If he was our manager and he's saying some of the things that I would be worried, when he's admitting like we're the worst, as a United player fan, if I was hearing we're the worst United team in years,
but they know that fans, and that's why fans agree with him.
We all know it, but you don't want to hear it from your manager.
Yeah. To be
fair, the hierarchies don't want to hear it.
Everyone thinks he's the next coming of fucking Jesus Christ. Remember when he took over, they were 7th. They were like 6 points off Champions League or something.
Yeah.
Was he? Were they 7th?
Yeah, they were 7th. 6 points off Champions League. Now look at them.
I think they've got 9 points in 5 months or something stupid, isn't it? Like it's ridiculous. It's I think.
I feel bad for him. I feel like he. Sorry.
I feel so.
I feel like he said to them, "Look, I want to join at the end of the season," and they're like, "No, you have to come in now." So I think part of it's like he's probably got a free hit this season. But they're not gonna say.
I watched them last night though, and obviously I won't go too much into that game. We don't want to talk about that, but I watched them, and I've watched United for 25, 30 odd years, and the money they spent, and they're throwing Maguire up front with 15 minutes to go. Like that says everything about United at the moment. You're throwing your £80 million centre back who has got no real kind of finesse as a striker. You're throwing him up front for the last 50 minutes. That's how desperate things you got with United. That's better now than their actual £80 million striker, the £100 million winger that's going, playing at Betis. It's a mess. Like I looked at that team last night. I thought, Jesus Christ! I mean, like Bruno Fernandes, how much patience has he got? But people talk about Arsenal players moving on because they're not winning trophies. I know he's won a couple of cups there, but he is so far above the level of most of the players of that team. Like how he's still gonna. I get his frustration now. Like I've always thought he's a bit of a moaner, but I kind of get it now when he's dealing with what he has to deal with around him.
Not that I want to talk about United, but do you feel like he's got his hands tied behind his back because he probably want to play Kobbie Mainoo, he probably want to play Garnacho, but it looks like they're all going because they have to get some money in from these homegrown players. Like Rashford will go, Garnacho, Kobbie Mainoo, they'll all make a lot.
It's a mess, and I love it. Yeah. it's great.
Oh, I love it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Listen.
He can't do nothing.
I've got no sympathy for them too. I mean,
that's what made the Spurs win a little bit easier because.
Don't you listen? I don't, Adam. Listen, that's why I had a massive arc. Sorry, Lord. I did say to myself, I'm not gonna take the bait anymore when anyone talks about Tottenham. You want to hear us last night? I took the bait from those guys last night on live on TikTok.
Yeah.
You just said, all right, because I've got some Arsenal fans on there and saying, oh, I'd rather see Spurs win it than Man United.
No, I didn't say that.
And then, but you said it
made it easier because I said it made it easier because it was against United. If it was against like Bilbao or someone like that, it would have been more painful.
It was a small silver lining, was what you're saying.
Exactly.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I don't see any silver lining what happened last night because at the end of the day,
And the
they
game
now
was shit.
because
And
we're not
they
going
won
to.
it on
And
an own
that's the
goal.
point. Yeah, and it was
So
the whole. I mean, I
that's-
didn't watch the whole
yeah.
game.
Oh,
I didn't watch the whole game, but I heard the game was
It was
absolutely
bad.
dire.
It was bad.
Dreadful.
I mean, two British clubs on the world stage showing what, and people must be thinking, well, what's the Premier? What's so big about the Premier
Two
League?
things happened. That goal that dribbled in and Van der Ven's fucking clearance.
Yeah.
Nothing else happened.
No.
It was
No,
fucking
but, you know,
painful.
I mean, at the end of that, people say, who do you want? Who do you prefer? Mate, listen, I can't take any of them. I hate them both.
I was a United fan last night.
I was going. Obviously, I was hedging. I wanted Man United.
Oh yeah, I was sitting there. I felt like a United fan, especially the last 10 minutes when they were kind of wave after wave of attack. I probably would have celebrated like an Arsenal goal. Like, just as you say, there's no comparison for me, Spurs and United. United, you know, I that 90s and 2000s rival. There's almost like a, although I don't like him, there's that kind of underlying respect for the rivalry that it was. Like,
no, I get that. I get that.
Spurs, it's just like, no, I can't. As soon as the final whistle went, the TV went off for me. I wasn't watching.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to get into that Tottenham thing anyway, but all right, let's move on from Man United now. Anyway, they're out and they're crap. Anyway, Newcastle. We spoke about Newcastle and Everton. What are you going for?
Newcastle win.
Newcastle win that.
Okay, Forest.
He's
Chelsea.
turn up fit.
Do you reckon he would?
Forest Chelsea.
It's just weird how he. I just don't know why.
Yeah, that's what's. Yeah, someone.
Liverpool,
I think someone was saying that he didn't want to play. I don't know. I'm just saying
it was like a muscle injury, but then he come back the next game, didn't he? So
yeah, it's strange.
It's weird. So, right, so we're going Newcastle. We're going right. Forest, Chelsea.
It's probably the most unlikely result, but I'm going for a draw. I think both teams will have to try and win it late on if they need to, but I'm actually going to go for a draw.
Okay. Yeah, so Southampton, Arsenal. Yeah, all right. What do you think about that, guys? Yeah, I think
we could absolutely wallop them. I've got a feeling they're going to feel the frustration of this season. I've gone 3-0, but if we won that 4 or 5-0, it wouldn't surprise me. I think there's a few players playing the last game for Arsenal. I think Havertz is back. I think, again, the shackles are coming. Again, there's no pressure on this game for the first time in about 3 months. And they're a bad side. And I think there's always a weird result in the last day. I really think we could go and hit them hard, and kind of, or either that or Ramsdale as a blinder and we draw 0-0, but we'll see.
Pat, did you have a chance to ask Nwaneri why he's not playing?
Nwaneri? What? No, that's weird. I have no idea. I mean, he looked. I don't know. I think people are saying because obviously he's played a lot of games,
but not really
throughout the season, and obviously he wanted to give him a rest. But I don't know why. I mean, I was sitting right next to Ranieri. I was seeing him warming up and everything else. Do you know what I mean? I was going to shout to him and say, "Mate, look, get out there and warm up properly." Or do you know, that's how close I was to him. You know what I mean? But no, I have no idea why he's not playing.
It's really strange to me. It's like, especially, hopefully he starts on. What
do you think, Adam? Why? Do you have any?
I think he's just trying to keep him grounded. I don't think there's an issue. I think it's literally like, some big players came back. Saka came back, and I think he will get a lot of minutes next season. I think it is that his age and I think it's almost like Saka's back, Martinelli's back, and I think you got to work into the team. You're not going to be guaranteed every week. That's my theory. I hope it is that. I don't think there's an issue. I think it's very much like you need to kind of bide your time because you need to make sure you're performing every week to be ahead of these guys.
Maybe it was the last home game they got like Jorginho, Tierney on just to get off rather than.
I think,
Talk about Tierney. Me, I love the player. I think he never really got the chance at Arsenal. I'm for one gonna miss him if I'm honest. I think he'll do a hell of a lot better. He'll do a lot more when he goes to Celtic. I think Celtic's got themselves an absolute blinding player.
I think the problem with Tierney, I love his attitude. I love him as a player. Like, I think he's been, for me, he's the kind of ultimate professional. But he's missed so many games in the last 3 seasons, and I think we're at the point where Lewis Skelly's come through. He's not going to get ahead of Lewis Skelly. You've got Calafiori there. Tommy Asu still coming back. I just don't. I think he couldn't guarantee him minutes. I think it's a mutual decision, and I think he'll get the send off he deserved. He did on Sunday. The cheer was huge, and I think. It's unfortunate the time to go. I do like him, but he's never going to play regularly. He's played one league. He started one league.
Do you really feel Arsenal's going to keep Tommy Asu?
Maybe not, but even then, I think I said before, I think we've got enough at left back. I think Timber can play there. You got Califiori. I think Lewis Skelly's going to nail that position down. I just don't. He's going to be fourth or fifth choice. He's not going to sit there.
You can't sell him mid-surgery. I think he's just had surgery again. I think Tommy Asu.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think Southampton will beat Arsenal 6-0.
Disgrace.
It means nothing.
No, I know. Because I think they've got nothing to lose now. So they're going to go all out. Nah, it's not 6-0, but I can see them beating Arsenal. If I'm honest, I can see it.
Things happened, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Trust me, I can see it. I just got that feeling, but it is. Arsenal's got nothing to lose. They've certainly got nothing to lose. They're going to be at home. They're going to want to send their fans off with a good memory.
They're just so bad. That's the problem. They're just such a bad side. Like
I can see, I can see
against them. There's a problem.
If it was Leicester or Ipswich, I'd probably agree with you. But I think they're just so bad.
And I can see what's his name, the goalkeeper, Ramsdale playing out of his skin. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
I can see it. I can see him playing out of his skin. You want to get rid of me? This is what you lost. Bang, bang, bang. You know what I mean? Everything he touches goes over the bar or round the corner. Anyways, yeah. All right, now let's go to. I don't care if anyone wants to watch this, but let's go to the Scums versus Brighton.
I think Brighton are beaten. Brighton are still playing well. I think again Spurs have got no interest in this last game. This will be drunk by Sunday probably. So, and last one, Wolves and Brentford. I can see them cancelling each other out again. Probably a draw.
Probably a draw. Okay, well, I mean, I wanted to rush through that quickly, guys, but I want to talk a little bit about our transfers and stuff like that. But I do want to hit on. I'm going to hit on it. I'm not going to hide from it. We talked a little bit about the game yesterday. It's got an impact on Arsenal, all Arsenal fans, because now the tables are turned. The banter, they've got a big, more heavier weight banter than what we've got now. Honestly, what do you think of it? What do you think of it? Them winning now, and they're in 18th. They're 18th in the table, and now qualified for Champions League, and they've got a trophy behind them. Do you think? I mean, I know people say sorry. I know people, and I totally disagree with it. Do you think they've had a more successful year than Arsenal?
No, I thought I'd be bothered a lot more by it yesterday, even watching it, but I just didn't care. I think if it was the Champions League, I would care a lot more. I thought I would care a lot more, but I don't care. I don't think it necessarily has any effect on us. Obviously, banter-wise, we're going to hear them say we're champions of Europe or some bollocks at the fucking ground. But apart from that, I thought I'd be a lot more bothered by it, which is strange. I don't know. It's a weird feeling.
I'd say I think again begrudgingly fair play to them because no one really thought they were going to do it. Like they probably put their eggs in that basket the last 3 months and. You know, I think everyone wrote them off and we gave them a lot of banter about it. And we're probably going to have to take that stick and take on the chin. Do I think they've had a better season than us? No. I get the trophy, but, you know, it's a competition we weren't even in because we're too good. You know, like let's not pretend that we weren't going to win that if we were in it this year. Like, yeah, I think, as I say, if they won an FA Cup that we were in, I think it'd actually be worse because they've actually beaten in the competition that we've actually been in. Now, I know they're going to say about the European pedigree and they've got more European trophies than us, but I don't think we can be down on ourselves for not winning a trophy of a competition we weren't in. Now, yeah, they've lost, 22 league games, is it? Like, and they're papered over the cracks. They've papered over the cracks. If you look at how they're 30 odd points behind us, 35 points behind us. I mean, this time last year, 18 months ago, they were talking about being title challengers, Spurs, and they were talking about, North London, and they were coming to us and kind of they thought they'd outplayed us at the Emirates when we drew 2-2, and it was like, we're kind of overtaking Arsenal, and it's like they've won this trophy, and it's like saying a Palace a better side than us, and this season it's they've won a trophy and fair play to them, but they're so far behind us in the league, and they've got a lot of rebuilding to do. I know they've had a lot of injuries, but we are miles ahead of them, and I'm not fearful of them. And I think the Champions League, they'll be found out next year.
They've lost 21 games.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to win that trophy. They've won the trophy and they're going to enjoy it, but that's not been a better season.
If they finish fifth and had a decent season as well as doing it, it could be different. But I just feel like,
I mean, the bottom three have been.
We never talk about them when we win the trophies. Do you know what I mean? We never talk about them, but they seem to be talking about us. Do you know?
The bottom three have been atrocious. You look at like the three teams that came up. I mean, they've been the worst team in the league outside of the promoted teams, and that says a lot. You look at the team, the size of the teams they're behind. Like kind of no disrespect to them, but
sorry, is that the same three teams that's come up?
Yeah, so they. Yeah, the three teams came up and went down again. So of the actual the Prem teams last year, they're bottom of the table. And then that, I mean, Spurs realistically were thinking about qualifying for the Champions League through the league this year. Now they've qualified by default, but they're 30 odd points behind Champions League qualification.
Can I just ask? I'm sorry, I don't understand how. Is it because they? Oh right, it's because of their competition. Yeah. That's why they're in the Champions League. Okay, fine.
You look at that game last night, it was so bad. And you've got to look at the teams they played to get there. Bodo Glimt. Who else was it? Manu played.
Did they say wasn't Monaco involved in that?
Who?
They didn't play Monaco, but no. But Jay's right. They played both a Norwegian team in the semi-finals. They played Frankfurt, who, have been an okay side in the Bundesliga, but they're nowhere near Leverkusen, Munich, Dortmund kind of level. Like
Leon Lacazette's up their striker.
Yeah, no offense. There's rumors about Lyon being relegated as well this year, isn't there? Have you heard about that? So.
Yes, I've heard. Yeah.
Yeah, they said they reckon if they didn't qualify for Europe, they financially they could be in real trouble and they could be relegated by default this season.
Did you hear about Lacazette when he was playing his last game for Lyon? He scored 2 goals, and while he was scoring the 2 goals, his house was getting robbed.
Really? Wow,
it's just fucking terrible, isn't it? Because obviously all his family must have been there because they're watching it.
Yeah, sometimes I don't get some of these high-profile players. They've heard of these incidents. You think they'll be better prepared, better security when they're home, when they're playing at home or away. There'll be people there to look after them. So I don't feel sorry for them because they've got the money to basically to do all that.
They probably have someone there, but if someone's coming through your door with a knife and a
no, if you got proper security at your place, you're a high-profile player. You're going to have some proper security there, especially if your family's there. You're going to have proper security. I'm not talking about bell alarms or gate about 200 locks on your door. I'm talking about personnel on the ground, walking around your facility or outside your property. I'm not talking. That's what I'm talking about with a dog or whatever. So I'm sorry to hear that, but that's their problem.
I think going back to Spurs briefly, I think I think the one thing is that everyone wanted that Postecoglou out a week ago, and I think there's a small.
Well, he did say, mate, I always win a trophy in the.
You know what? Fair play to him because say that it was bold. It was so confident, and he's been backed up because he would have taken a lot of abuse if he hadn't done. But I think if you look at what he's done in the Premier League, there's a lot of naive performances, and I think in some ways I'm kind of glad he is staying because I still don't think that he is the tactical genius that will kind of get him in the mix in the Premier League. I still think he will attack teams that he shouldn't attack, and they'll leave themselves open, and I think they'll make the same errors. Now, it might win him a cup, but I think in the kind of grand scheme of things, it doesn't mean Spurs are going to be kind of get anywhere near us personally in the league.
I think that's why it doesn't hurt.
Are you being sour grapes?
No, I've said to him, I put it on here. I think fair play to them. They won a trophy, and they deserve to win the trophy. I think they were the better side last night, and I'll take the stick on the chin. I've got Spurs mates, and I'll give it to him, and I'll take it on the chin for a few months. But next year, I don't see him kicking on from it.
You can say they're focusing on Europe this whole season, but you could get away with that if it was the last 10 games of the season. They've lost 22 times, 21 times. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That just brings us to you just brought us to right on that cue. All right. Now let's just talk about rumours of transfers. Let's just spoke about this guy here who you see my finger?
Yeah. That next to him as well.
Is that this guy?
Roberto, yeah.
This guy here. This is what. Now, obviously, we're linked with a few forwards. We need a forward. Arteta's, I quote, "It's going to be a big summer. We have to get someone. We have to get someone who basically can finish." Now, obviously, there's rumours of this player, that player, whatever. Who do you? I mean, this is speculation. We don't know who's going to come in. I'm going to start with you first, Jake. Who do you want to see up front? No, I'm just talking about a number 9. I'm not talking about any other place apart from a number 9. Who do you prefer and why?
I'll tell you how it's going to go down. I prefer Isak. Berta wants Gyökeres. Arteta wants Sesko. That's what I think.
Say that again.
I want Isak. It's not going to happen,
Right.
but I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. I think Berta wants Gyökeres and Arteta wants Sesko. From what I've been reading.
Right. Why do you want Gyökeres?
I don't want Gyökeres.
I'm sorry. Who did you say you wanted?
I want Isak, but I don't think
Why
it's
do
going
you?
to happen.
Okay.
I think we're going to end up with Sesko, and I think Gyökeres will go to Man United.
Right.
Because
you think no?
we
Right.
say they've got money issues, but they've just spent 70 mil or however much it was on Cunha.
Gyökeres is not going to go to Manchester United for one reason and one reason only. Manchester United has got no European games next season.
I think the only thing that stands him in good stead with that is if, obviously, Anamarim was his old manager. That's the only thing I can say. I've just got a bad feeling, but I think we'll get Sesko.
Right. All right. You're saying Sesko. That's what you want to go for. That's what you're going for. All right. I've got you. Right. I'm going to ask you now.
Realistic. That's who I think we'll get.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Not who I want. That's who I think we'll get.
You want Isak. Now, maybe I'm being stupid. Maybe I'm being biased. But I know Isak is a great striker. I'm not saying that he's a good striker. He's proven in the Premier League. But I know I know there's a lot better players out there, a lot cheaper than Isak that Arsenal could go out and get. Okay, and one of them, I was looking at him. What was his name? He used to play for. No, he used to play for City.
Averin.
Averin. All right. Now, Averin, when you look at the I was looking at the stats. They did a comparison with Averin and Isak. They're not miles apart. They're not miles apart. Isak might be winning him on. Let's say shots on target, and then you've got what's his name? The other one,
Isak.
Yeah, he's basically might be winning him on something else. So when it all stacks up, it's basically all roughly they're about the same. Now, one or two might be better than just a little bit. No, nothing bigger. Now to go out and buy, let's just say for instance, if Newcastle wants 100. There's no way they're going to get 150 for him. I don't believe that. But can they get 120, 125? Yeah, I think that's if he ever goes, that's what I think he would go for. Not 150. It won't happen. Okay, I feel again there are plenty of players out there you can buy for less.
Okay, so Pat,
and give you.
So who do you want, and who do you think will buy?
Right, I want my preference. 100%. This is what I want. I want
Berta.
This man, right? I want this man. I want this man. That's my preference over Isak, over Sesko. That is my preference. One, because I know that the amount of chance he scored. I think let me make sure I got it right. He's got 53 goals in all competitions this season out of 51 games. Now, I know people are going to say, yeah, but he played for the Portuguese league. Listen, come on. The guy has proved it last season. He scored something like 60 odd goals. Every single season, barring when he played in England. Okay, so I never knew he played in the Premier League.
He didn't. He played in the Championship.
Yeah, he played for Brighton as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he didn't really play though. Yeah.
But again, he still was in the Premier League. I didn't think he was, but he was. But anyway, moving on. From then, the guy has literally, there's no other top goal scorer in Europe has come near him. Now, I believe that number one, he can come in and hit the ground running. He knows the English league. He knows the culture.
I don't think he knows the English league.
I think he does. I think he does.
I know the English league because I watch it on the telly because he hasn't played a game.
Well, okay. It's an opinion, but I feel that the amount of the chances that the goal scorer that he is, the chances that Arsenal always have in the final third, that got him and Arsenal are made in heaven. And that's a fact. I know that he's a kind of player that he likes to play off the last man. He's not only proven that he could be a player who can assist on goals, but he's also shown that he can play from open play as well. And that's what Arsenal need. Now, we're talking about Sesko. Sesko's an absolute great player. Now, he's scored, I think, it's about 22. I think this season he's got 22 or 23. I might be wrong, but I know it's in the 20s. Sesko still is a work in progress. Okay, don't get me wrong. He's absolutely amazing prospect for Arsenal, and I think we should go for both of them. Get rid of Trossard and get rid of Jesus. All right, I don't want to get rid of Martinelli. I really don't, because I think I love that guy. But if we get rid of Martinelli and get some money on top of that, I say why not go for both of them? You've got the money, you should do. But if we don't, but then go back to Sesko. All right, he's another work in progress. Now, we can't have any more work in progress. That's over with. For me, that's over with.
I think Isak is the only one you can come in and go, bang, you can actually hit the ground running. I think Gyökeres will still have to prove himself in this league. By all means, if he comes and scores 40 goals a season, yeah, I'm going to have his fucking name on the back.
Okay, and I agree with you. But the only big concern I've got about Isak, he's injury prone. Now, you go out and spend 150, under 25, 150 million for that guy, and he's out for half the season. That's the only concern I have about Isak. Okay, he is injury prone, and Arsenal cannot afford. Sorry,
I know you say that, but Gyökeres could come. Timber never got injured. He came here, done his ACL. Do you know what I mean? It could be that sort of thing. You never know when that can happen.
I get you. Adam, jump in, mate. What do you say?
I'm sold on Gyökeres. I have to say Gyökeres. I think Portuguese. I get it, you're right. The Portuguese league, people are going to throw that at him. But the goal scoring is relentless, and I think the hat trick against City in the Champions League, I was impressed with him when I saw him live against us. I think the Championship, he played in a very average Coventry side, and I know the Prem is different to the Championship, but he's used to being roughed up. Like the Championship's about as rough and ready as you get as a league. I think he'd be ready for that in the Premier League. I think I'm with Jay. I would have Isak if you gave me an option and it was all like the same money, then I'd pick Isak. But I think Gyökeres 65, 70 million, I think he'd fit in straight away. I think he's the obvious one that goes in. I think Jay was saying about Arteta liking Sesko. For me, I had this little theory about Sesko the other day. Like Sesko's 21, 22. And someone, I think you just said he's a work in progress. I think Havertz is still a big favourite of Arteta's, and I think with Sesko he has the option of going, right, I can play Sesko in one game, I play Havertz in the next, and I think if that is true that Arteta wants him, it kind of allows him to play Havertz in certain games that he wants to play him in, whereas a Gyökeres or an Isak come in and he plays him every week. You have to play him every week, and that's for me why I think Sesko is quite appealing to Arteta if that is true. Yeah. But I personally would, if money was no object, Isak. But I think Gyökeres will come, and I think it's going to be a great signing. I do expect him to hit the ground running. I'll be amazed if he doesn't do it. He's done it for Sweden. He's done it in the Champions League.
Yeah, but the problem is now, okay, with that theory, what you just spoke about with Kai and Sesko, that can't happen anymore. It can't, because I'm being honest with you. All right, that's still saying to me, all right, we're still in a work in progress. I mean, we're still progressing. We're still working on what we want to try and achieve.
Maybe work in progress. I think he would look at it and go like, I can rotate them a little bit. I think a striker will come in. I still think he sees Havertz as a big part of this squad. Not necessarily as a number 9. I think he'll play him in the field a bit. I think he'll throw him on with 50 minutes to go up front. I think he still sees Havertz as a key part of the squad, which I know a lot of people will be upset with. I like Havertz.
I like him. I like him.
Yeah, but I think I don't see us getting 2 for that reason. I think he will see Havertz as the backup to one of the ones that comes in personally.
I think we're going to get one striker and one winger.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about the wingers. We'll talk about the wingers in a minute. But what I'm asked, I want to stick with the forwards because for me now, it's over. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But the work in progress is over now.
Yeah.
The 5 years is over. That's over. There's no way we can come over. And even Arteta has come out and said it himself. That's over now.
Yeah, he got Gyökeres in his prime, isn't he? He's 26, 27. The shirt looks good on him behind you, Pat. It does look nice, I have to say. It's
yeah, I mean it does, but the thing where I'm coming from now, guys, is this. All right, because I'm battling every other person and Arteta are out on this. And there's something about me, all right, that loves Arteta, and there's no way I want him to leave because I know he's the man to bring us our success on. And if he does that, played for Arsenal and bring us that success. Now I'll tell you what, I couldn't find anything more romantic. But it's time now for me, and I'm going to be honest with you. If Arteta do not, and I'm going to say it, he needs to go out and get at least 4 marquee players. I don't care. People might say, well, he's even come out and said that he needs about 3-4 players or whatever. If he doesn't go out there and buy 4 marquee players,
but I think he will. I think he has to.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
We've got one, Zubimendi. We know the striker.
We've got one. We've got one, but we don't know the strikers that's coming in. We don't know them. We don't even know the wingers. We're going to talk about the wingers. But what I'm trying to say is, if Arteta do not bring home, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the FA Cup. That's one of the massive, biggest trophies in the whole of football. I get that, but I'm not interested in that. You don't bring home, and I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say it. You don't bring home the either the Premier League next season or the Champions League. You're going to have to. I am one of those people who's going to be seriously thinking, well, is he going to bring us over the line? Is he going to take us over the line? I want him to take us over the line. I want him, but this is me. It's just me. No one else.
If Arteta gets Gyökeres in and he turns out like Darwin Núñez, do you know what I mean? I think he's better than Darwin Núñez. So don't get me wrong, but Darwin Núñez looked like a world beater in the Portuguese league, and then he's come here and he's got found out.
Okay. Well, the way I see it, look. I know, like you said, you want to get Isaac. It's not going to happen, especially if Newcastle ends up in the Champions League. Forget about it. Just forget it. It ain't going to happen.
No, I'm saying we're not going to get him. So that's what I'm saying. What I think will happen if I was a betting man and I had to put 50 quid in there, I think we're getting Sesko.
Right, but Sesko's money last season. Sesko was going for about 60, 65 with a clause and everything else. Every time Sesko's scoring now. Do you know what his price is now?
I think they're both similar prices now. I think they both got clauses. I think
no. The clauses are done. I think Sesko's clause is over. Sesko clause is over. They're now wanting. They're now looking for 85 million for him.
No, he would never get that.
There we go. But that's what they're looking for because he's scoring, and he's a work in progress.
Yeah,
now,
I think they both got clauses, Pat. So I think we will be spending similar money on Gyökeres or Sesko.
Okay.
I don't know, but
all right, go on, carry on. But
it's hard. It's hard, isn't it? It's going to be a hard decision to make.
Well, that's why. Anyway, we've all disagreed who we want up front. Okay, fine. Moving on. There's 2 players out there that we're linked with. Now, one is on the left, one's on the right, one's on the left. You've got Nico Williams and you've got Rodrigo. Now,
I think they'll both play left if they were to come, obviously, because I think no one's starting.
Yeah, but Rodrigo can play both sides.
Yeah.
I think he'll come as a winger, though. You're right. Yeah.
So let me ask you this: if we could get both, would you go for both? If we can, I mean, I'm saying pie in the sky. Would love to, but Arsenal's a big club now. Arsenal's a big club. They got the money. They can afford it because Rodrigo is going to go for about 85, just under 100. Okay, you've got Nico Williams is going to be. I think they said he's
asking big wages, though, isn't he? He's asking really big wages.
But
I don't think he'll price himself out of move.
Because right now he's on 100. He's on 150,000 a week, right? That's what he's on right now. If Arsenal put it up to what? Because I know Saka's going to be getting 300. What's his name? He's going to get 300 a week, 300,000 a week. Why not push him there? You can push him. You can even go for 250.
I don't think we'll get both. I think. Yeah, I like Gordon.
You say we don't need both.
No, we need both. I think because as Jay said, Saka is so nailed down on that right hand side.
Yeah,
that I just don't see. I think whoever's going to come in is going to fight that left hand position, especially with Waneri playing on the right as well. Yeah. I just don't see that we need a right winger. I think a left winger is key. I don't think you're going to get, as you said, you want to keep Martinelli. I just don't see how he plays how he gets Williams, and I don't know how he sells the dream to Williams and Rodrigo, saying you're both coming into left winger when we're keeping all those other players.
No, okay, fine. That's a pie in the sky for me. I'm not saying you're going to get both. It's going to be one or two.
I'd have Rodrigo over Williams if you're asking the question.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Okay, I'll go Rodrigo.
I like Gordon.
Anthony Gordon.
I like Anthony Gordon.
Oh, for crying out loud! Okay.
I think he'd do wonders for us.
I think he's a good player.
I think. Well, there's Martinelli will stay. I hope he stays. I think Trossard is now in talks that he's going to sign a new contract and stay. So I don't see if you're going to
Trossard needs to go.
I think he does. I agree. I disagree with that.
I think he does. I think he needs a new challenge. I really do believe that because Trossard is a person. He wants to start. And that's a fact.
I'm saying there's no room for all these wingers.
That's a fact. He wants to go. I mean, you can see it in his face. He's not happy when he comes off that bench. Even though I believe that he's a lot better player when he comes off because he makes a lot of difference when he comes off the bench. But when you look at his he is not a happy person, and that is why Arteta even said when he came up, he's got the face of when he comes off the bench because obviously he's not happy sitting there. And I personally feel that he needs a new project, and that's my opinion.
Okay, so Pat, if we said it like this, then you said you wanted 4 marquee signings.
Yeah.
We said we got Zubimendi, Sesko, Rodrigo, or Gordon, and say
Gordon.
You don't like Gordon?
No.
Gordon has battered us every time he's played this, except for that goal.
It doesn't mean he's going to batter every other player team out when he plays them.
You don't.
He doesn't play. I don't rate him at all. But the only time I see when Gordon plays well is when he plays against Arsenal.
No, I think he's tough draw.
Okay, well.
But yeah, anyway, so Zubimendi, Rodrigo, Sesko, or Gyökeres. Would you be happy with those 3?
When you just said Gordon.
No, I said Gordon or Rodrigo.
Rodrigo, 100%.
Gyökeres or Sesko and Zubimendi.
Yeah.
You happy with that?
And that's 3 players, right? That's 3.
No, but would you be happy with
those 3? Yeah.
If you just
no, because the reason why, because we need someone to challenge. And I know you said it on top earlier that you said we don't need someone to because Saka's all right. No, I'm sorry.
That's one area.
No. Forget about that now. You need someone to challenge.
Well,
we have to move on this. Yeah, but Ranieri, he's there. He will always be there. He's a work in progress. Adam, the way I'm trying to say, mate, is that we've had our transition now. 5 years, 6 years. That's over with. Adam, we're a massive club. And if we don't show that we're a massive club, we're now in Champions League. All right. There's players who wants to go to Barcelona, Real Madrid, every time they call it because they win things. Adam, the way I see it now, mate, we have got to win things now. There's no more.
But then you can't kill Lewis Kelly's career.
No, you're not going to kill Lewis Kelly's career. But what I'm trying to say, do you kill? Let's say, for instance, God forbid, Saka got injured again. He will do it if Arsenal run him down. Arsenal play him the way they played him for the last 2-3 seasons, he's going to get run down again. That's a fact. You're going to bring the young Lewis Ethan Mary comes in. He's a youngster. Again, he's work in progress.
But Pat, as we just said a minute ago, Rodrigo can play on the left or right. So if you bring Rodrigo in, if Saka gets injured, you switch him over to the right.
Fair dues.
I don't think you need 2 wingers. You need 1 winger, 1 striker. So that's why I'm in Jay's camp. I'm in the 3. I'm in 3. 3 does it. 3.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. We'll probably sign 4 or 5 players, but as far as standout players.
I think we'll get another
We
goalkeeper.
can't bring in 4.
Yeah,
we're never going to bring in 4.
The goalkeeper's the least of my worries, but another person that I'm worried about, and I know he hasn't been injured, touch wood, is Saliba. Saliba. I mean, I know you say you could buy it, but we could put Rice right there, but or anything. But Saliba. I mean, we need a cover for that guy. I mean, and don't forget Gyökeres. I mean, is it Gyökeres? Not Gyökeres. Is it Gyökeres? What's his name? Kivior. We don't even know if he's going to go. Now he's an absolute. I think we should try and keep him, but I think he's going to go.
I think we've got 6
if you've got Saliba and Gabriel, you can't bring in another. You can't bring in.
We've got Calafiori, who's a centre back by trade. Kivior may go. We've got Timber can play at centre back. Ben White centre back by trade. You did not need another centre back. That is not where we need to spend the money for me. We like that for that fit is the best in the league for me. Maybe
I'm not saying but you need a cover.
Yeah, but we've got Calafiori, Kivior, Timber, White.
But they're gone. But hang on.
Yeah, but you're basing what if
Kivior goes? What if he goes?
Timber, White, and Calafiori, 3 very good centre backs behind. Who are you going to buy that's going to come in and sit behind Gabriel and Saliba that are better than White, Timber, and Califiori? Who's in that bracket?
That's a very good question. That's a very good question, and I need to think about that one. But but think about it, guys. What we got to remember, right? We've got a thin squad. This is what Arteta's been saying. Well, everyone needs to remember, right, from the start of the season, we've got a thin squad.
Yeah, but Pat, it's simple. Let's go through it through position. Raya, we need a backup keeper. That's one signing. Yeah. Look at your right backs. You got White, Timber, Partey can play there. He's signing a new contract. Centre backs again. You just named them all.
Okay, fine. All right.
Left back, Calafiori.
We're light up front. We're not light at the back. We're very heavy at the back.
No, okay, fine. All right. Let's leave the back alone. All right. I get you. I'm on your side with that. I do get that. But where I see it sometimes, like Arsenal players are injury prone. All right. And that's a fact. All right. And we need depth. That's how I'm seeing things right now. And I don't want to see, this is my problem. I don't want to see any more development. I know we've got players coming in from the academy. That's what I want to do. Bring them in. I get that. But we have now got to start saying, we're a big club. We need to win that league, and we need to win that Champions League. Because I'll tell you now, Arsenal last season we were quarter-finalists. Great. This season we're semi-finalists. Next season we need to be we need to be fighting for that in the finals. We don't get that. We need to be winning the league. We don't win the league, then.
But Pat, we know we're one player away. Do you know what I mean?
One player? Do you think it's one player? I don't think it's just one player.
In your starting 11, we're one player away, are we not? Debatable, maybe a left winger.
Yeah.
Two max.
Yeah. We need another wing.
You're right. If Gyökeres should play for Arsenal this season, do you think we'd have won the Champions League?
If Gyökeres should play, I think so. Yeah.
That's Jay's point. We're one player away. That's his point.
No. Well, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is also no. We need another player winger on the left.
No, I'm not saying, but even in the league, Pat. That striker would have made the difference, turn those draws into a lot of wins, and
Yes, you're right, absolutely right.
That's what we need is 4
players. But then you're saying that, but then you can't.
I understand you're saying you've had a lot of players been injured for 10 games.
Yeah, players have been injured, so we just can't say that.
And we can't just write off. Okay, well, I don't want anyone else starting over Saka. Do you know what I mean?
No. Hang on a minute. No one's saying. But it's good to have. It's good to have competition. Any player, anyone, any professional player would say it's good to have competition because that keeps them on their toes.
Well, Rodrigo would be that. That's why Rodrigo would be the left or right winger. That's the competition.
Right. Okay. Fine. Right. Let's forget about the right winger because like you said, like I said, he plays both sides. He can play both sides. Then all right. So we've got the forwards. All right. Whether it's your man Isaac or Victor Gyökeres or whoever. Oh, we've got that. Then now we move to the middle. Now we're not 100% sure Partey is going to be signing a new contract. We don't know because I'm not. I mean, I know that they're talking to him. I know that they want him to stay. But Partey, what I'm hearing, he wants a 2 year to 3 year contract.
One year.
But he wants more than 1 year. But now he could go somewhere else.
And if he's successful, the option of another year, basically, isn't it? That's what's been offered to him.
Is that? But okay, fine. What if Inter? Because I know Inter.
But then again, we say that Zubimendi's coming.
Yeah, okay, right. So Zubimendi, he's gone. So, all right. So, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're not far.
Yeah, but hang on. But Zubimendi, no, but Zubimendi's come taking Jorginho's place. He's not in taking part.
Jorginho's not playing much football, is he?
No.
He's not like he's not going to take his place in the 11. Zubimendi's going to come in and raise the bar in as either the back.
He hasn't brought Zubimendi not to start.
But then what happens to Mikel Merino?
Well, Merino, again, that's what I think we're saying. We've got players in there. I think Merino will be even better next season, and he's not guaranteed to play in that 11. So that's why, as I say, I do think all our recruitment, personally, the big players need to be winger, a striker, and one centre midfielder. I think everything else we're fully set. I think we've got a Champions League.
To be honest with you, I'm like you guys, and I'm being honest with you. For me, I just got to the point now, guys. It's time that we won something now. It's time. I agree.
Next season,
they can't do. Listen, not everyone can win it. Not everyone can win the Champions League. Not everyone can win the Premier League. Not everyone. But I'm telling you now, okay. This is where I see it. Those scums down the road have just won something. All right. Arsenal's been coming runners up for the last 2-3 seasons. Arsenal's now big. Last season was in the Champions League.
Where would you rather be? Where would you rather?
No. I'll tell you what I'd rather be. All right. I want to be lifting something now. That's what I want to be now.
Would you rather be 17th and lifting something? Or would you rather be fighting for leagues, semi-final of the Champions League?
No.
Even being one player away from dominating?
Okay, so you're saying, I know it's everyone's opinion, but I mean, I get that. But you're saying that you're happy next season, all right, to go Champions League semi-finals, get knocked out, still not missing that.
Let me put it like this. When Real Madrid played Tottenham in the Champions League and we were playing fucking whoever it was in the Europa League, were you happy then?
No, that's not. No, I'm not happy about that. What I'm trying to say is, Jake, is that because Arteta has brought us to where he's got us, and I feel he's the man to take us over the line. Now, let's take us over that line now. That's what I'm asking. I don't want to be second again. I don't want that. I don't want second again. Trophyless again. That can't listen. That's not Arsenal. And we can't accept it anymore. And Arteta's come out with it and said he can't accept it anymore. He's got to go out and get the players that he needs to get us over that line. And I totally agree with him. We need to do that. And that's just it. Honest to God, mate, listen, for the last, 5 years ago, 6 years, Arsenal was harbouring in 8th place, in no man's land. That guy's come over and he's basically every single year taking us forward until we're competing in the Champions League every single year now. We're competing for the title. Now it's time, and he even admitted it. And he even said it's a massive summer for Arsenal. We've got to get it right. We have got to deliver something next season. And I'm saying what he's saying. All right, because we can't just keep saying, but at least we were there or thereabouts again.
I agree totally with what you're saying. But then we are doing what we need to do. I think we will get a striker. We've got Zubimendi. What do we want? A centre midfielder, a winger, and a striker. We've got to get the winger and the striker, mate. And we're on the way.
Absolutely. You know? I agree. I totally agree, mate. And honestly,
and you've got to remember, everyone else is going to strengthen. Everyone else has had a.
Everyone's going to strengthen, and that's that is it. Everyone's going to strengthen.
And we're now going to strengthen.
Sorry,
I said except for Liverpool, and they're now going to strengthen.
No, Liverpool will be strengthening.
That's what I'm saying. But they didn't spend any money at all. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they bought in one player though, didn't they? In the summer.
Didn't they get that Chiesa on loan, wasn't it? Or something?
Yeah, there was nothing big.
Cheap, yeah. But yeah, we got to back him. We got to back him, and I think.
Listen. I'm going to back him.
I think it's an exciting summer. I think it's really exciting. I think, not often does a team get to the Champions League semi-final, finish second in the league, and then splash probably 200 million. Like it is some intent, and it is showing that we are serious. I mean, yeah, if we get to September and we haven't done it, then we can moan about it. But I think all the right noises are coming out. We weren't far away in the Champions League, and we're going to go and splash some cash. I think it's exciting. It's exciting, Sam. I do think
it is exciting. I'm hoping it is exciting times, mate. Because, like I said, all I want now, the transition period, like he said, and I'm just reiterating what Arteta said. The transition period is over. It's over. We have now got to deliver, and that's what he's saying. And that's exactly so. No one can have a go at me in what I'm saying because he come out and said it. He said the transition period is over. It's a big summer for us. We have got to get it right. We have got to get it right, and we have got to deliver. So I'm just reiterating what he's saying, but I want something.
Who do you want? Gyökeres, your winger?
No. I just want to try. I want the Premier League. That's what I don't care who you're bringing in. Honest to God, I don't care who you bring in. Whether you bring Gyökeres or Isaac or whoever or Rodrigo, I don't care. Honestly, I don't care. Whoever you bring them in, whatever you bring in, we have got to deliver next season. Whether that's, and I'm not talking about an FA Cup. I'm sorry, we've done that 13 times. Okay, I'm talking about the. I'm talking. Sorry, is it 14? Okay, fine. Oh, I'm
even
Palace
have done that.
Do you know what I mean? But I mean, but I want to rub it in that stinky
I think everyone knows we're all in the same.
Yeah, we're all in the same camp.
We know we have to get one of the big two, and I think he will sign. We will get our players. But
would you be happy if he got Gyökeres, Victor? Would you be happy?
I would be.
I'd be happy. I have reservations. One, because when we played against him, I didn't think he did that well. He was nowhere near what he did when he played against Man City. But then that was the only other highlight for me.
He scored Man City. All right. But he scored. How many goals did he score against City? 3.
He did score a hat-trick against Man City. But that's the highlight. That's it. Do you know what I mean?
I have to say, I thought he was good against us. I thought he was dangerous.
I did.
He was dangerous. He was. I think we were in a good moment when we played.
I think it was an excellent performance.
But I'm just saying, look, can you imagine the chances that Arsenal made?
And he's not playing Saliba and Gabriel every week. No. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, I'll take that back. But yeah,
guys. He's
still unproven for me. I know he's banged in loads of goals. I just worry.
We'll see.
Darwin Núñez thing scares me.
Well, we'll see. Right, what was the score? What was the score for next for our final game for Arsenal?
I'll go 3-0.
You said 6-0 Southampton.
I didn't say that.
I think we'll be comfortable. I think we'll have a good session.
6-0. Can you imagine? Where could you imagine?
Might end up being another 50 million if that happens, though.
So. Guys, thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate everyone in the chat. Please comment on what we discussed. If you agree, disagree with what we say, please leave a comment. Please subscribe. Please like. Please share. Hit the like button and everything. And everyone stay safe, guys. Adam, thanks very much, mate.
Yes.
And Jake, thanks very much.
No worries, mate.